Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. Today is the 25th of April. It's 11 a.m. Remember, this is not a pre-recording. We are live every day this week, Monday to Sunday at 11 a.m. We are playing catch up. We had a few days down last week, so we're trying to catch up on videos and catch up on content. So if you are new here, bottom left-hand corner, we're at 121,000 followers. Hopefully we will be at 125,000 before the end of the month, which would be a great target for April. Bottom right-hand corner, $74,000 target for Bitcoin. If you're here to find out what the Bitcoin price is, that's where we're going to get to before we talk about anything else. Today then, we are going to go through Bitcoin and what happens when there is a flight to safety during market turmoil, world turmoil, financial, whatever it might be. Why isn't Bitcoin pumping during these events? We're going to look at that. We're going to look at Near AI. I think this is a coin, believe it or not, I'm going to add to my portfolio. Then we're going to look at 5 to buy. We're going to take a look at 5 coins recommended by one of these online crypto experts, and I'm going to give you my pick of the 5. Then we're going to look at Renzo DPEG. Only yesterday, it's as if I am now Mystic Mike. Maybe that's what I should start calling myself. I did the bonk video over the weekend before the news about Revolut was announced. I made the video about the meme coin Manaki that I talked about on Tuesday. It then pumped yesterday and is now listed on all the major exchanges. And yesterday I made a video about Renzo in which I talk about synthetic staking tokens. And I mentioned in that video that depegging is a risk for synthetic versions of any coin, Solana, Ethereum. We're going to talk about that. I'll explain a bit more later. And then we're going to look at gold versus Bitcoin. Which one is the best one to hold? Which is the best one for storing your value? A few good mornings. Good morning to Bullish Bull. Good morning to Hidden Agendas. Good morning to Kishan. I hope you are all well. The poll today, are CBDCs a good idea? That's the poll today. So far, only 4 votes, but the show has just begun. So we're going to have a little look at that in a minute. And if you're wondering what the headline is today, Biden pause. During one of his many fumbles, verbal fumbles over the last few months, Joe Biden stood up and said, 4 more years, pause. And he literally read everything on the teleprompter out. The man should not be in charge of America. He should be replaced immediately. Let's not wait for the election. He doesn't know what day of the week it is, and he doesn't know how to read a teleprompter. So we need to remove him. Not me personally. I'm not talking about the UK going and taking back America. I'm saying that the Democrats need to appoint either Kamala Harris or somebody else before November, or they're going to lose to Donald Trump. So that's pretty much it for the intro. We're going to try and get all of this done in an hour. So by 12 o'clock, 12:05, we will hopefully be finished. And I'm going to go through something I missed yesterday. We're going to look at some charts as well. We're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at Near Protocol, and we're going to look at Matic. They're the 3 charts we're going to look at today. As well as when we look at the Bitcoin chart, we are going to look at the bull market support band, which I very briefly talked about. But there is another theory about how we could touch the bull market support band and move up that I'm going to go through. Anyway, for some reason, they have returned with our stats at the top of the page. Market cap is down over 4% in the last 24 hours, down to 2.36 trillion. Volume is up at 83 billion. Dominance 53.4 for Bitcoin, 16.2% for ETH. Nothing to shout home about really on that. Bitcoin coming in just under 64,000. I know why we're at 64,000. I know why we have dropped. We're going to go through that during the X-Files. ETH is coming in at 31.4. And gainers and losers. What do we have in terms of gainers? Now, this doesn't work very well sometimes. When we have market fluctuations, it doesn't update very well. But according to this, nothing has gained in the last 24 hours, which is understandable. Losers then. Starknet is down. Hedera, HBAR. So the news about the real world assets, BlackRock and Hedera, is fake news. So that pump that we saw of 50%, it's based on fake news. It's probably going to retrace over the next few days. And that's just the way it is. Some people buy the hype. Some people buy expecting to see these kind of, partnerships build up. And that's acceptable, but not in this case. It didn't happen. Where are we now? WorldCoin is down. Good. Jupiter is down a little bit. My fair value for Jupiter is $1.50. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go and buy Jupiter today and expect it to go to $1.50, but that is my fair price. So when Jupiter was at $1.80, $1.90, I said, I think it's a little bit overvalued. Jupiter is a good coin for me. I think it's going to do well in the bull run. Algorand is down. Remember, we had the pump up. We've gained most of our losses back in our portfolio on Algorand. Pied is down a touch. There's a lot of 9% losers today, and that's to be expected because, as I said, the market did correct somewhat over the last, I would say about 18 hours we've been down, and we're going to hopefully go through. One of the X-Files explains why. I don't know if it's the first one or the fourth one. It's in there anyway. Let's have a quick look. So, here we go. We haven't done one of these for a few days. Bear with me. I think the last time we did it was Saturday. Now, many of you out there who are new to crypto have seen the last dip. You know, we've had a 4% dip on the market in the last 24 hours. Some of you are focused on the lightning and the dark clouds and the misery of the fact that your portfolio could be down a couple of percent in the last 24 hours. I, on the other hand, see this as a rainbow. We are in a nice range for most coins now. Remember what we said yesterday, we've bounced off the bull market support band on a lot of coins. That's a good place to be at this stage of the market. Remember, the halving happened. We're not going to go to a $300,000 Bitcoin the day after the halving because the supply shock has to kick in. So see these corrections as a rainbow. Don't focus on the dark skies and the lightning and the thunder. Focus on the rainbow. If I said to you 4 weeks ago, you can now buy Bitcoin for $64,000, $65,000 when it was at $74,000, you'd be like, oh, I can't believe this is a golden opportunity for you to start to dollar cost average in and build up. We could go further down. We could go to 57,000. We could go back to 60,600. We can go lower. Dollar cost average in. It's going to take a good 6 months for us to get at least back up towards maybe $80,000, $90,000 for Bitcoin because the supply shock doesn't happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen. It takes time. But that time is your rainbow. It's dark skies. Don't take it for granted. Start to dollar cost average in. Now then, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but X is under attack in Australia. They are trying to close it down because the Prime Minister of Australia doesn't like the hurty words and he doesn't like the hurty memes. And in response to this, X has become the #1 downloaded app in Australia. If that doesn't tell you anything, I don't know what does. People don't want to be mollycoddled. You have to protect freedom, especially when there is an oppressive, or should we say a censorship pro-government in power. Good morning to Gianni. Good morning to Daniel. Do I want to know? Can't find your Gary video. Just type Gary into the search bar. It's definitely there. I made it after you asked, probably about 2 or 3 months ago. So then, a little bit of breaking news about the ETFs in Hong Kong. They were approved a few weeks ago. We told you about that. They will begin trading on April the 30th. That is, as far as I'm aware, 5 days from now. It's not going to blow the market up. We are not going to see an $80,000 Bitcoin on May the 2nd or May the 3rd. It's going to add volume and it's going to remove more Bitcoin on a daily basis. Remember, this is like Buckaroo. Bitcoin is going to break. The supply of Bitcoin is going to break. Sorry, the demand on Bitcoin is going to break. It's going up and up and up, and the supply from the halving has gone from 900 a day to 450 a day. At some point within the next 6 months, probably in the next 5 or 6 months, it's going to be so unsustainable that there's going to be a price correction to the upside. That's just what's going to happen. The fees for this are much of a muchness. 30, 60, 99 basis points. It's not really anything to write home about. They're not massive fees. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen very soon. So that's going to add additional buy pressure to Bitcoin, which is a good thing. Now then, this is the reason potentially why we have had the market correction, and it's a strange one. So IT Tech posted it up. I'm not really interested in the CZ news. It's this. There are two elements. One, which is totally outrageous, which is a 44.6% capital gains tax on your money. So if you sell your house, maybe not your house, I think they've got an allowance on that. But if you sell assets, every $1,000 of profit you make, you have to pay $446 in tax to that man there, Mr. Paws himself. But this interesting one down here, the proposal also includes a 25% tax on unrealized gains for high net worth individuals. Now, you might not care about that because you might think, well, it's high net worth, they can afford it. If it works for high net worth individuals, guess what? They're going to do it for everybody. They'll do it for everybody. It will start with high net worth individuals. Then it might come down to people with assets over $1 million. Then people with assets over $500,000. And suddenly, everybody in America will be paying 25% tax on unrealized gains. And if you don't think that's how it works, then you need to take a good old look at the history lesson of economics in America. When they were on the gold standard, you'd never heard of inflation. They left the gold standard and printed money. And ever since then, they've been taxing Americans more and more to try and keep a lid on inflation and keep a stranglehold on the money supply that they keep printing. So the more they print, the more they strangle. And this unrealized gains is, if you have $1,000 worth of Tesla stocks, and at the end of the first year, you have $2,000 of Tesla stocks because the price has gone up 100%. You owe the government in America $250. Irrespective of anything else, you have to then sell $250 worth of Tesla stocks to pay the tax. It's unenforceable and it's totally ridiculous. Forget Elon Musk, forget Jeff Bezos, forget these 20 or 30 people in America who are holding all of their money in stocks and shares in Amazon and X or whatever it might be. They are not the problem. They are making you believe that they are dodging paying tax and they are abusing the system. There's 20 of them, maybe 50 of them. But they're going to use this to take your money, because if it works on Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, it will certainly work on you. So be very careful what you wish for. And if you're cheering this on from the sidelines thinking rich people should pay more tax, yes, rich people should pay more tax, but there are ways and means of doing it. And unrealized gains is not the way to do it. One last thing then, again, Samurai is they're accused of money laundering. Samurai is a Bitcoin privacy wallet, and they have arrested the developers. Very similar to Turbo Cash, but not on the same scale as Turbo Cash. They are arresting them and charging them with money laundering. And this is what they do. They throw mud, and some of it will stick, and these individuals could go to prison. Now, there is a huge difference between Silk Road and what he did, and in my opinion, He knowingly ran Silk Road, and in my opinion, he should be in prison. Maybe not for 10 lifetimes, but he should be in prison. And people who develop privacy. This is not about money laundering, it is about privacy. And we talk a lot on this channel, we spoke yesterday about it. Privacy is not a criminal offence. The government should not know everything you do in your life. That is overreach. And they've been arrested for it. I don't know if they're going to win. When will Bitcoin see its market value exceed $100,000? Well, this had 1,100 votes, according to Sentiment. 60% said this year, 26% said 2025, and some crazed lunatics said 2026 and beyond. Now, 2026 and beyond, at least 2026 and 2027 is probably going to be the bear market. So it's a case of it's going to happen this year or next. Luckily, 86% of people appreciate and understand that. But it's certainly not going to be 2026. If we haven't hit $100,000 by the end of next year, we are not going to hit $100,000. And that's just black and white fact, because the bull run lasts for a certain period of time. The bear market lasts for a certain period of time. And of course, we then have the accumulation phase, where we kind of bottom out and then we start to slowly move up. So don't listen to everybody who tells you that we're not going to hit 100,000. Don't listen to everybody tell you we're going to hit it in 2026 or 2027. There's a certain cycle to Bitcoin that it kind of follows a 4-year cycle. Some of it is the bull market, some of it the bear market, and some of it is an accumulation phase. Now, I'm just making sure we appear to be doing well for time today. So Bitcoin fails to draw safe haven flows amid Middle East crisis, says Keiko, or Keiko, probably Keiko. So the 6% drop in Bitcoin contrasts with gold USD gains during geopolitical unrest. Now, there is a certain number of people on X who revel in this correction of Bitcoin. The number one troll is Peter Schiff. Every time there is conflict or uncertainty, Peter Schiff just points his finger at Bitcoin and says, I think you're supposed to be this store of value. You know, why aren't people buying it? And the reason is, very simply, investors have been fed a pack of lies by the media that Bitcoin is an asset held by I'm trying to think of the words where we don't get flagged. Bitcoin is used for illegal activities, and Bitcoin is used for things that it shouldn't be used for. So it's been tarred with this brush of it being a high risk asset. This high risk asset is now worth $1.4 trillion. It's owned by some of the richest people in the world. There are ETFs with BlackRock and Fidelity. It's held by nation states, but the stigma is still attached to it. And until that stigma goes, and until people really understand what Bitcoin is for, it's never going to be a flight to safety asset. The flight to safety assets are gold, bonds, the US dollar. We talked about the currencies the other day, the Swiss franc, the pound, the euro. They are flight to safety assets. Bitcoin isn't, because it's simply not considered a safe asset, because the media feed you these stories. Every time it goes down 4, 5, 6%, it's all over the headlines. Every time it goes up, most of the time it's ignored, unless BlackRock are appearing on the TV. So you're getting fed all the bad publicity with none of the good publicity. That's why it isn't going to be seen as a risk-off asset at this moment in time. So despite Bitcoin's previous surge in response to the banking crisis, that's different. The reaction to other significant events, such as the attacks, were negligible. Performance as a safe haven asset is inconsistent across different fiat currencies, with currency devaluation often prompting increased crypto adoption. So there we have the market performance. Bitcoin hasn't done so well. Some things have affected it more than others, but the point is we're not going to get there anytime soon. This could be tied to the halving. It's not tied to the halving at all. Bitcoin's derivative data is still strong. Funding rates for perpetual contracts remained close to neutral, despite briefly flipping negative. Again, traders, Bitcoin traders who are in Bitcoin understand Bitcoin. These price fluctuations are not really being caused by degens and people in crypto. They're being caused by traders who are taking advantage of the uncertainty and the FUD and everything about it. And the ETFs, there's been outflows during those periods. The more money we pump into the ETFs, the more volatility we're going to get from the ETFs when there is more conflict or pandemics or whatever else it might be. So Bitcoin isn't there just yet, but it will do. It all takes time. Remember, gold is hundreds, if not thousands of years old in terms of how we value it. Bitcoin has been around for 14 years. It's been in people's consciousness for about 4. The internet wasn't trusted for about 10 years before people started carrying out transactions online. So don't think that Bitcoin is suddenly going to become this safe haven overnight. It's going to take time and trust, and that's what we need to understand. It's not a high-risk play. Maybe if you look at these degen meme coins on Solana, yes, they are high-risk degen plays. But as far as part of your portfolio being in safer assets like gold, Bitcoin should be considered more like gold. It isn't gold, but it should be considered more like gold than something like a tech stock like Google or Facebook. They're not the same. Now, one thing I wanted to point out was, and again, these lines, they are drawn. I don't draw them from day to day, so you'll see the same lines that we had. One thing I forgot to mention yesterday is we talk about coming back to the bull market support band, which is this here. This is the moving average price of Bitcoin over a period of time. That's all it is. And there's two, because there's 2 different periods of time. And what they do is they trend up over time as the price goes up, and they trend down over time as the price comes down. Now, what should happen during a bull run, if we go back here, we will see that it bounces and then it shoots up like that. Okay? So these bounces provide support. Now, we moved such a long way in this period of time that when the price started to correct down, because it hadn't touched the bull market support band, it fell below. And that is what I'm worried about for Bitcoin. Again, we came back up, we tested it as support, we then went to our all-time high. Over here, we're trying to find a scenario where we can touch it without the price correcting too much. Because my bottom here at the minute is 55.5. That's where Bitcoin could come down to. What's that? That's about a 15% correction. A 15% correction from where we are now would bring us back to the price Bitcoin was at the end of February. So only really 7 weeks ago. However, what would happen if this starts to do this over the next few weeks? And what happens if it goes like that? And Bitcoin just decides it's tired, it needs a rest. And then in July, we hit it and then we move up. Or if this line is less dramatic, and let's say we smooth it out a little bit, so it does this, and Bitcoin is just playing around in these prices, doesn't really do anything, and then we hit it there and we move up. Now, let's take the 2nd of October, because that's my birthday. We had the halving in April. May, June, July, August, September, October. 6 months. So 6 months of the supply shock effect from the halving kicking in. Could we see Bitcoin range between, let's say, 60,000 and let's say 74,000? Do you think Bitcoin could range for the next 6 months in that period? I mean, it's a fairly big range, I'll admit. 60 to 74 is a big range. But if you look back, we did something similar. We did something similar 4 years ago. Never use these charts. So down here, look at where we were. So March to October. We've just had our halving in April. And that period there is a little bit choppy, but it's kind of doing this. And it's kind of moving up, yes. And that's coffee bean, that. I'm going to call that the coffee bean chart. Now, over here, could we do the same thing? Because funnily enough, that's March. So could we go from March to October in this range, and then in October start to do this? Because that would then give us maybe 6, 9, 12 months worth of upward momentum. That's a possibility. So maybe we don't have the massive correction down. Maybe we just bore the pants off everybody for the next 6 months and range between 60 and 74 and don't do anything. And then all of a sudden we get the supply shock in October and we start to pump. That's the thing I wanted to cover yesterday that I forgot to mention. But as for price action now, Biden has shocked the market with this ridiculous tax suggestion. And that is, in my opinion, that's where we are. There are other people who say it's to do with another grayscale sell-off, or it's to do with the arrest of the samurai owners. I don't think that would have affected the price as dramatically as this. But at least we've got the idea now that maybe we are range bound until October. And the other bit of support for that is, of course, that for most of July and August, traders go on holiday. They take 2 months off in the summer. So volumes are going to be down in July and August. That gives us really May and June to make a move. And then if we don't do anything in July and August, it gives us September to then start to then kick into October, and then we move up. So maybe we don't fall down to 55, 57. Maybe we hold 60, 62, and then maybe we range between 62 and previous all-time highs. Who knows? That's just another scenario. Now, Near Protocol preps for AI announcements to boost Web3. This was 14 hours ago. And this, for me, could be one of the reasons I look at buying Near. As you know, I hold Fetch, I hold Singularity. I used to hold Chain GPT, but it was too micro cap for me. It has done well, but it's not in my portfolio anymore. I think I'm going to take out another position in an AI token, and I think that's going to be Near Protocol. And what I might do is put it into my $15,000 portfolio, and I might start to look at taking some money out of the two bottom coins I've got there, maybe, and open a position in Near Protocol. That's a possibility for me. Now, Donovan has hinted at this, but not provided any specifics. So he's warning us that this is going to happen, but he's not told us what. And that's good enough for me in these situations. Now, for those of you that don't know, there is a lot of interesting information about Near Protocol that you should go and do some research on. It was originally an AI project that then moved onto the blockchain. So it's already got history in AI. It's not new. It's not deciding to add AI because it's sexy. It was AI and now it's crypto. So in an interview with Chris Donovan, the COO of Near Foundation, he discussed the protocol's vision for integrating AI into the ecosystem and driving mass adoption, amongst other topics. We think that if someone doesn't do this in the right way, and we feel very well positioned to do it for all the reasons we discussed, the open web might not be something that's achievable, he said. Co-founder Ilya Sutskeva Their background as a pioneer in transformer tech, and I don't think they're talking about Optimus Prime, and the co-author of the influential paper Attention is All You Need. NEAR is well positioned to make strides in that space, or in this space. If you want to guarantee an open web, you also have to guarantee an environment where AI can be developed in a truly open and irrevocably open way, and it needs an economy around it to sustain the openness moving forward. The issue, again, we are arriving at a crossroads on everything. And what I mean by that is privacy and freedom. And I know Vitalik was talking about this the other day, and I'm not stealing his ideas, because his ideas were to do with Ethereum, and he clearly didn't care about privacy and freedom when he changed it to proof of stake. He did that because of pressures to do so. You are seeing privacy developers being arrested. You are seeing platforms that allow freedom of speech to be censored by governments. AI, we've already seen with Google. Google's AI is completely broken. If you type in the founding fathers, if you type in anything, it will give you rubbish information back because they've made it woke. And woke should not fly in the face of factual information. Woke is an opinion, as is everything else. A good example, if you type in the founding fathers into the Google AI system, it will give you non-white pictures as a result. Total nonsense, okay? So AI has to be built in an open way that doesn't include political persuasion, and that can only be done on the blockchain, because on the blockchain it's irrevocable. That's the difference. If you've got Google AI or Microsoft AI or Facebook or whatever it might be, there are a group of developers behind it, and that group of developers work for Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg works for the American government. So if the American government wants something changing in Facebook AI, or if they want something changing in Microsoft AI, they just go and talk to the CEO, and the CEO enforces it. That's not freedom. That is political persuasion, and that shouldn't be in AI, because at one point, AI is going to be so skewed that reality is simply going to be completely detached from everything that's ever done. So these large-scale consumer applications will drive mass adoption, highlighting NEAR's ecosystem of dApps with millions of monthly active users like Sweat Economy, Cosmos, Play Amber, and look, there's going to be multiple ways to get mass adoption. It's definitely not a zero-sum game, but we think that our positioning is one of the ways we think is giving us a great shot at getting it. Now, the more I read about NEAR, the happier I am. And the reason I'm looking to buy NEAR now, I'm going to show you the chart in a minute. And I am probably going to open a position in the next few days, and certainly if there's a correction to the downside. NEAR has focused on user acquisition over the past 12 to 18 months, targeting Web 2 projects. Also, don't forget, NEAR also has ties with NVIDIA. What are NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA have built an AI NPC for games. An AI NPC that you can talk to in the game, and it will respond to your voice. And you can ask it questions, and it will give you the answers based on the narrative of that character within the game. So that's where NVIDIA are. NEAR are building a Web3 AI system. What can you see the future of NVIDIA and NEAR being? A Web3 based, AI based gaming ecosystem. It's clear as day that it's going to happen. Now, I talk a lot about Star Atlas on this channel because I think the game's great, the mechanics are great, everything is great, but it doesn't have AI, and it needs to have AI. AI is the future of gaming. There are games out there where you can give the game a set of parameters and it will build you a level or an environment based on what you've asked it to do. So it's a 100% personalized gaming experience. NEAR Protocol, if they partner with NVIDIA, NEAR Protocol could be the biggest AI token in crypto. Now, I'm a massive fan of Fetch, a massive fan of Singularity, and I think that's currently going to be the biggest AI token, the ASI token, which should be coming out soon. But Near Protocol, partnering with NVIDIA, creating AI NPCs for all games is simply not going to be catchable. It's going to be so big. It's going to become a monolith. I would expect Near to be absorbed by NVIDIA at some point, in all honesty. Good morning, or should I say good evening, Peter. I hope you are well. I hope you are well. And Gianni, I don't know if I said hello to you. So we don't really care about the uptime of Near Protocol. Most platforms are up to 99% anyway. It's not really important. But for me, I think he's giving us a warning. And when I say us, I think he's giving people in crypto a warning that this could be something you want to be looking at. Now, again, go and have a look at this chart. We talked a second ago about the bull market support band for Bitcoin. It hasn't been reached. There you go. 14th of April, Near Protocol bounces off its bull market support band. Near Protocol, if you go back to the previous bull run and you look at where Near Protocol got to, we're moving a long way up. We are up towards $20. So it topped out at $20. Now, previous price action does not necessarily mean that it's going to go back to $20. Let me point that out there for a start. But in recent times, we hit $9. We're at $6.72. We are down a touch. The kill zone where you make the killing is here. So if Bitcoin corrects, the price for me would be somewhere about $4.70. I, however, am not going to wait for $4.70. I am going to start dollar cost averaging in to Near Protocol probably within the next 72 hours. If I was to buy Near Protocol, how long will I have to wait for 10x? Well, Peter, as you know, that would be financial advice, and I don't give financial advice. I would be buying Near Protocol to look at holding it, depending on the news that comes out about NVIDIA. I'm changing my opinion. I tell everybody that to make a plan. Make a plan. Make a plan for the bull run. Make a plan for the bear market. Plans need to be flexible as well. Now, I'm making a plan for the bull run, which involves selling everything but Bitcoin. Now, what I would say is maybe there is another plan, and maybe there is a plan where you separate your coins into sellers and keepers. So, for example, if ADA hits $3 to $5, because it's lagging like mad, if it hits $3 to $5, I'm selling every ADA I've got, okay? Because ADA is a long-term play, But in the bull run, ADA goes up, you sell, and then it comes down for 2 years. So there's no point in holding it. With these new coins, especially AI, I don't know whether, if I get my ASI tokens and things are starting to look bullish, I don't know whether to keep my AI tokens with my Bitcoin, because their cycle might fall outside of the Bitcoin cycle. I've been talking about decoupling for a few days now. Near Protocol partners with NVIDIA to create AI NPCs is going to skyrocket this coin if it happens. How many coins do I need to buy to make 50 grand? Well, if you were to go off the all-time high, which is $20, you'd need 2,500, which would cost you $14,000 or $15,000 at today's prices. But that's only basing it on the previous all-time high. I'm not basing it on my suggestions. I'm telling you that I'm going to buy Near because I try and be as transparent as possible. I don't tell you because I'm being paid by anybody to say this. I'm telling you that I think Near Protocol is looking like a good run. I think. Again, it doesn't matter about circulating supply. Circulating supply makes no difference. The only difference circulating supply makes, sorry, not circulating, total supply makes to a coin is psychologically. So if I go and buy $10 worth of SHIB, I'm going to get 1.5 million SHIB. And if I'm new to crypto, I'm excited by that. You want to look at the market cap. The market cap is what is important. The number of coins in circulation means nothing. It's the market cap. So let me give you an example. People are saying that Solana is going to go to $2,000. That would be, let's call that a 15x. That would give Solana a $1 trillion market cap. Is that going to happen? Never. Never going to happen. Okay? It's never going to get a $1 trillion market cap. If you said that Solana is going to go to $1,000, that would be a 7x, for example. That would give it a $480 billion market cap. Yep, that's achievable. The market cap is sustained by the trading volume and the appetite for the coin. This is what's important. So Cardano, to get to $4.70, which is a 10x, would give it a $160 billion market cap. The previous all-time high of Cardano was $3. Now, to get to $3 from where we are is an 8x, but that's still $120 billion. So you're in the range of Tether, just above Tether for Cardano. That's what's important. When you look at meme coins, you look at the market cap, not the number of coins in circulation, because you're looking at the number of coins in circulation and saying, is Tron going to get to $1? And that's not the way to look at it. You should look at the market cap and say to yourself, Chainlink, is Chainlink going to go to $100? That would be let's call it a 7x. That would put it at let's call it 60 billion. So Chainlink would go to 60 billion. That would put it at the price of Solana. Chainlink is one of the most not underutilized. It's one of the coins with the most potential in crypto. So is it going to hit 60 billion? During a bull run, absolutely. That's the important thing to look at. So we look at people will message me and say, let me find the coin that I'm trying to talk about. Now, SHIB. Okay. People say to me, will SHIB ever hit $1? Or will will SHIB ever hit 1 cent? So that would have to 500x or 5000x, whatever it might be. Now, is it relevant to look at the number here? Or is it relevant to look at the number here? Every time it goes across to there. Because SHIB has a fraction of a cent, but it's 14.6 billion. So if it 1000x'd, what would that do? That would put it at 14 trillion. 14 trillion. The entire cryptocurrency market is 2.36 trillion. So don't look at the price of a coin, it's irrelevant. Don't look at the number of coins, it's irrelevant. Look at the circulating supply against the total supply and look at the market cap. They are what are important. If Cardano has a total circulating supply of 5 billion, sorry, and it has a circulating supply of 1 billion, then 80% of the coins aren't in circulation. That's bad. That's very bad. If it's 100% in circulation, then there's no inflation on that coin. That's an important factor. So always consider the market cap above all else, and I never see enough people talking about it. In my opinion, it's the most important thing, because you have to look at where a coin can get to. You have to say to yourself, what price can be achieved by a meme coin? Well, Dogecoin is at 21 billion. Should it be there? No. Therefore, ignore that one. SHIB is 14 billion. Is it there on merit? Yes. because it has an ecosystem. So the maximum at this moment in time any meme coin can do is 14 billion at this stage of the market. SHIB went to 36 billion in the last bull run. So even SHIB from here could potentially 3x. Maybe 4x, who knows? Now, when you're looking at the other meme coins that you go further down the list and you say, oh, this is going to hit a $1 billion market cap, and it's at 50 million. Well, how is it going to do it? How's it going to get there? Where's the buying pressure from? The volume, where's the volume coming from? So there's lots of things to take into account. It's not all based on the number of coins. What do I think of Aero? Everybody talks about Aero. And the issue for me is when people talk about something so much and it comes out of nowhere, it makes me think that people are being sponsored to talk about coins. Now, I will have a look at it. I'll have a look at it after the stream. What about coins with $500 million market cap? Should they not go up heaps, or will it only be the top 50 that will move higher? What I do is look at the previous all-time high, and that will tell you roughly where the coin went to in the previous bull run. Then consider if the coin has moved on in 4 years. If the coin is, what's the word? If that coin has done nothing, like Litecoin or Dogecoin, do I think it will go back to all-time highs? No. If I think a coin in the previous bull run has done exceptionally well over the last 2 or 3 years, and it's built out and it's built up and it's created a better ecosystem, then will it hit its previous all-time high? More than likely. So a $500 million market cap coin could go to 5 billion or 10 billion. That would be a 10 to 20x. If you look at Solana, the most Solana, in my opinion, is going to do is a 7 or 8x. If you look at Ethereum, the most Ethereum, in my opinion, is going to do is a 4 or 5x. Bitcoin, maybe a 4 or 5x. That's conservatively. The larger the market cap, the harder it is to move the price. Bitcoin, when Bitcoin gets to a $4 trillion market cap or a $5 trillion market cap, we are going to see less of the 20-25% weekly dips that we have seen in the past because it's just so high. Market cap is so high. Go and look at Tesla from 4 years ago and look at the price action of Tesla from 4 years ago and compare it to the price action of Tesla today. People today are saying, oh my God, Tesla's down 2%. Tesla was moving 15% a day 4 years ago, and nobody batted an eyelid because it had such a small market cap. Now, 3% move is headline news in the Financial Times. So the market cap is what is, for me, what makes a coin stable, an asset stable. At $4 trillion, it takes 10 times the volume to move it than it does when it's at $1 trillion. And leverage doesn't help, admittedly, but it's harder to move a coin with a larger market cap. Right then, so 5 undervalued altcoins to buy when diversifying a $1,000 portfolio. A coin that's a fifth of its value is perfectly fine. Cardano is down 80% from its all-time high. If you look at other coins in the top that are down, BNB is down. In fact, there is a good website, which I think I've told you all about before. I'll show it you again. So you want to go, should I say, to Coin Go Live. Coin Go Live shows you how far a coin is from its previous all-time high. Go and have a look at that. It's a good thing to look at. And what you want to do is say, Doge, all-time high was 73 cents. It's at 15 cents. Is it going to go back? In my opinion, not a chance. But it's a bull run. Maybe X takes it on. It'll go to $1. I'll be wrong. I don't care. ADA, again, 47 cents, all-time high of $3. Go down here until you find the coins. Link, for example. $52 all-time high, $14.70. I think Link could go to $100. So some coins are going to outperform. NEAR, again, the one we've just been talking about, $20 all-time high. If NEAR just hits its previous all-time high, that's 300% profit. If Link hits its previous all-time high, it's slightly over 300% profit. So look at these prices. It's going to help. It's called Coin Go Live. Go and have a look at it and see AI markets, meme coin markets, layer 2s, DeFi, all of those markets together. Go and see how your coins within your markets are faring against other coins in that market, and see if that gives you any indication. Now, these are 5 coins that CoinGate staff are suggesting you should buy if you have $1,000. I'm going to give you my opinion on the 5 coins, and I'll tell you whether they are good buys or not. I'm going to do it very quickly because we've got an awful lot of the show left to do. Hedera. Do I buy Hedera? Absolutely not. No, I don't buy this because, very simply, I don't like the project. I don't think the project does anything. I don't think that the news that came out the other day, I think that's the news about BlackRock that came out is the only reason Hedera is on this top 5. So no for me. Polygon Matic is in my portfolio. Biggest layer 2 on Ethereum. Polygon is lagging massively. Don't fade Polygon. We're going to show you the chart in a minute. It's one of my favorite coins. I'm not a big Ethereum fan. I hold a lot of Ethereum, but I'm not a fan of the ecosystem. The ecosystem is absolutely massive, but I'm not really a fan of using it as a retail user because it's so expensive. Layer 2s are going to be the adoption for Ethereum. I mentioned the other day, Solana is for retail, Ethereum is for corporate. Ethereum is going to be used by BlackRock and TradFi. Polygon, Optimism, Arbitrum, they're going to be used by retail. They're going to be used for NFTs, for loyalty schemes, whatever you want to be. Layer 2s have a future, a massive future, and they are on the coattails of Ethereum, so they're going to do exceptionally well. So don't fade Polygon. Phantom, for me, is a dead project. I wouldn't touch this with a barge pole at all. It's a lovely themed blockchain. Nobody talks about it. Don't know why it's on this list. Say, new project, tons of activity going on Say. This would be, if I had $1,000 and I had to put them into these projects, I would so far be putting, of my $1,000, I'd be putting $300 into Polygon. I'd be putting maybe $400 into Say, and then Beam, I would put the rest. Beam is a gaming blockchain, but in terms of potential growth, as Peter was saying in the chat a minute ago, in terms of potential growth, for me, Beam has the highest X return of those. So I would put maybe 400 into Beam, 300 into Say, 300 into Polygon. So that would be my picks, solely based on the returns. And again, that's if you had $1,000 and you wanted to make yourself a mini portfolio of coins based on this report. But to put Phantom and Hedera into this article, for me, kills the article. It shows they don't understand the basics of crypto, because everybody pipes on about Phantom. Phantom was 3 years ago. Phantom was 3 years ago. It's done nothing. It's not mentioned on X. There's no chatter about it. There's chatter about Say. There's chatter about Beam. Chatter about Polygon. And Hedera is only in the news because the BlackRock news, which was fake, by the way. The BlackRock news didn't happen. So that 55% pump is not real. It's fake. Even BlackRock have put an announcement out saying that they haven't associated with them. If you only put $200 or $300 into these coins, you won't make 100 grand. No, you won't. But if you've come to crypto expecting a 300x, then you've missed crypto by about 4 to 5 years. if you were buying your crypto in the previous bear market, so that would have been 2018, then you'd be looking at that. If you're looking at 300x's, you need to be looking at coins with market caps of $100 million. That's what you need to be looking at. The coins we talk about on here, the most they're going to do is a 20x. That's it. So if you're looking for massive gains, you're looking at meme coins, you're looking at $100 million projects, because a few of those $100 million projects will get to 3 billion or 4 billion. Some of them won't. So you've got to, and you've also got to be lucky as well. You've got to be lucky. There is luck involved in crypto. So Matic then, what happened to Matic? $1.25 is still the target. It's fallen way below its bull market support band. If you like Matic, then where are we? We are in the kill zone. Now, if we have a correction, it's going to come down again. And we're going to come down to, what's that say, 50 cents. We could come down to 50 cents. I don't think it's going to happen. We are fairly low down here. This is on the daily. On the weekly, let me try and zoom out a little bit on the weekly. Yeah, we're still fairly low on here. Now, we talk about the news and we talk about coins being pumped on good news. Those coins are pumped on good news because the people reading the news understand them. Matic has launched the AG layer, which is shared liquidity across blockchains, not just Ethereum blockchains, other blockchains, where they keep their sovereignty but share liquidity. It's going to connect like Chainlink. Think of it like Chainlink. It's going to link all of the blockchains that want to get involved together. And this is what is happening to the price on a weekly basis. For me, it doesn't make any sense. So before you even consider where we're going to get to in terms of $2 or whatever, $1.25, we need to get back to the support band, which is 86 cents. 86 cents from here is a 20% upside. I can't see this continuing down in this direction. It's oversold. We need a pump. We need a pump. And I think that pump's going to get us back to about 85 to 90 cents roughly. So that's what I would do. What I would do, Peter, if I was you, is I'd send me your portfolio. My email address is over there. Send me the portfolio. I'll go and have a look at it for you. That's about the best I can do. I can't say, if you've invested in 30 coins, I can't say whether it's going to get you to a price or not, because I don't know what coins you've bought. If you've bought 30 dead ducks, okay, then I'm not expecting you to have a lake full of baby ducklings next spring, because they're all dead. So I need to see your ducks. I need to see the condition of them. You could have bought incredibly high risk. You could have bought incredibly conservative. I don't know, but send it to me. I've done it before. Other people send me their portfolios, and we can do portfolio reviews on the channel. I'm not saying the dead ducks. I'm just saying I don't know what they are, so it's hard for me to say if they're going to go up or not. But for me, 70 cents, I mean, it's a bargain. It's a bargain at 70 cents. I think, honestly, at this stage of the market, we should be at 125. That's almost an 80% uptick from where we are. Now, we're going to crack on because we are really late today. Really, really late. So let me close a few of these things down, which we don't need. And let's have a look at this. Now, yesterday I made a video about this. Renzo is launching its token in the next, I think it's actually April the 30th this token goes live, I believe. And Renzo is a liquid staking platform on Ethereum. I've made a video about it. It's about 12 minutes. It explains everything about Renzo. In my opinion, this has taken a leaf out of Solana's liquid staking token playbook. And you obviously earn yield on Ethereum, you earn yield on your Easy ETH token, and you also earn Easy Points. And in my video, I said, probably about 8-9 minutes in, I said, depegging is a risk for synthetic versions of a coin. I also said that it's a very small risk. And this type of depeg is more of a headline than it needs to be. It happened to Marinade Finance about 6 months ago. And depegging means if you've got USDT and you've got the actual physical dollar, they are supposed to be 1 for 1. So $1 is 1 USDT. From time to time, they will depeg and go to 99 cents or 97 cents or 95 cents. Then Tether will deploy capital to bring the price back to $1. It's a balancing act. They are not set in stone. You can actually get a USDC USDT pair, so you can actually trade against them on the fractions of a cent that they change in value. Now, these tokens can depeg, and we'll go into it very quickly. So Easy ETH experienced a significant depegging event that liquidated millions from loopers using the token as collateral on leveraged protocols like Gearbox. According to data from CoinMarketCap, the digital asset's value plunged to 2,755 before coming back to 3,178. Bear in mind, this is the price of the coin against in dollars, but it's also supposed to be the same as Ethereum. So if Ethereum at the time of writing was 3,178, then it's recovered back to the peg, if you like. Decentralized exchange Uniswap witnessed a more severe depegging of Easy ETH, with its value dropping to as low as $700, attributed to liquidity challenges. This again is the issue. Now, what you should be doing is, if you ever see this, if you're ever in this situation where you have a major platform, I'll give you an example. DeFi Llama ranks Renzo as the second largest ETH liquid staking platform on Ethereum, behind EtherFi, which we've also covered. They're not going to go out of business. They don't. You look at the white paper, you look at how it works. It generates yield, it uses the eigenlayer, there's nothing wrong with it. If you ever see an opportunity to buy Ethereum at $700, because that's what it is, it's just a synthetic version. If you see an opportunity to buy it at $700 and there isn't a major exploit, do your own research, buy one. Just buy one, because it's going to repeg to the price of Ethereum in the future. Marinade, had it happened while I was at a computer, I would have been buying MSOL at a massive discount, and then I would have waited for it to have returned to parity or almost parity with Solana, and I'd have sold. It happens from time to time. People make hundreds of thousands of dollars out of USDC and USDT depegging. They just do. It's never a bad idea to put a buy order on USDC and USDT at 95 cents, for example. I wouldn't do it with the micro stable coins, the smaller ones, but I would certainly do it for the top two, because they can happen, as it says here, due to liquidity, due to vulnerability, whatever it might be, but the underlying company is capital rich and liquidity rich, and that will change in the future. In 3 years' time, my advice will probably be wrong, but at this moment in time, there is really not that much risk associated with it. So 115 credit accounts were liquidated, 10,650 Easy ETH was sold on balance pool. Liquidation losses of 25.77 ETH were automatically covered by the Gearbox Reserve Fund. No action needed. These liquidations occurred alongside the release of Renzo's native Res token, sparking the emergence of Renzo-related phishing scams on social media. Exactly. Never a good thing to click on any links on X other than from the official accounts. Amidst this market turmoil, trader, I'm not even going to pronounce that, capitalized on the situation, investing 4,099 ETH to acquire 4,221 Easy ETH. He made 121 ETH in probably a few hours. And this is what I'm talking about. Depegging of synthetic coins and depegging of stable coins, if done the right way, is easy money. Pardon the pun. It is not something you should do if you don't know what you're doing. But individuals that can monitor these things, that see the depeg happen in real time, can capitalize on it and buy the ETH off peg and sell it on peg, because these things only happen over a period of a few hours, if that. Sometimes it's half an hour. You have to be in the right place at the right time. I talked about IMX. IMX had a flash crash while I was having a shower. In 15 minutes, I missed a flash crash on that coin where I could have been picking it up for $1.20, $1.25. I missed it because the flash crashes. It happens. He noted that while prices may stabilize post-slash, the interim period could witness harsh liquidations. It's all FUD right now, as slashing won't derail Eigenlayer, but LRTs, one with lower liquidity and two and are widely accepted as collateral, can cause disproportional damage. Absolutely, absolutely. You want to buy, wait for it to get near peg and sell again. So even if he'd have sold just under the price of Ethereum, he'd have made still 100, 110 ETH in profit. But these things can happen. You need to be aware. If you hold, for example, if you hold WBTC, if you hold SETH, if you hold any other synthetic version of a currency, you need to be aware that there is a depeg risk associated with that. And that's important. Now, what I'm going to do, because it's 12:06, I am going to not do this article today. I am going to do it tomorrow because it's not time critical. And we're going to go through the gold versus crypto debates. 12:07, I've gone over. I'm going to do this tomorrow, I think. And then I'm not going to overrun on the show. Now, a few things then before we go. I am back tomorrow. I will be live at 11 o'clock again for an hour. And please tune in. Don't forget, if you're new here, like and subscribe to Crypto Warehouse. Make sure you give us a follow. If you can follow, make sure you like. Trying to get to 200,000 fans by the end of the year. We're already nearly 122,000. We've made a couple of cracking videos in the last few days. One about Renzo, which we've just been talking about, and the other about Maneki, which was a meme coin that I managed to catch. It's now listed on all the major exchanges, and it's overtaken When. So, yeah, let's just leave it at that. Go and watch those videos if you can. If not to worry. I am available on all social platforms, so find us there. If not, I will see you all in the morning. Thanks for coming back, Peter. Make sure to send me the email. Kishan says, pump expected. We are wholly oversold. Wholly oversold. I do think that this is to do with the Biden news. I think it's shock. I think now is a good time to pick up some Bitcoin. Bottoms for me, 60,666, 55, 56,000. They're my two bottoms. So we're not going to go to $40,000. Upward momentum should take us maybe towards 68, 69,000. And we're not going to talk about the bull run until we're above 74,000, in my opinion. So take care, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, feel free to email me your coins. And I'm not going to tell you how stupid you are. Remember, I've not said this for a while. There are no stupid questions. If you're out there and you're one of these lurkers that comes to the channel and watches us every day, and you're all out there, I know you are, please either, if you don't want to ask the question in chat because you don't want people to see you ask the question, email me or message me, ping me, whatever you want to do, and I will answer the question anonymously on the stream so you don't have to. The same with your portfolio. If you send me your portfolio for a portfolio review, we will cover it on the channel. We're not going to do Peter's because everyone knows it's Peter's portfolio. I'll reply privately. But if you have a portfolio you want me to review, send it me and we'll review it on the stream, probably with Brogan on a Saturday morning, and we'll tell you which coins we would hold in addition or in replace of, as our personal opinion, not financial advice, because we don't give financial advice. So thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for tuning in. See you all in the morning. Take care. I'm going to make a video on something this afternoon and I'll let you all know on social media. Thanks everyone. Take care.